Like I say again and again, it's always an exciting day whenever a new keyboard arrives at the desk for an unboxing and feature. For today, it's the Aula F75 mechanical keyboard. Now, I know that there is a version of this keyboard that's specifically the collaboration between Epomaker and Aula, and this ain't it. But with all that said, let's get to unboxing it. But before we continue with the video, let's keep the lights on here in the studio. This video is brought to you by Sneak Attack Design Lab. They're a clothing company that specializes in technical fashion, more commonly known as techwear, and you can see me in their clothes in most of my videos. I've been supporting their brand ever since I met them back in 2019, and now they're returning the favor. Head on over to this link, you can find it in the description as well, to get 10% off your order from their site. Check their clothes out, you're bound to see something badass over there that'll look great on you. Thank you very much to Sneak Attack for this exclusive promo for my viewers. Now, back to the video. So the Aula F75 comes in a predominantly black box with minimal print at the front. Not even a product photo complicates the design. Even on the back, we only get a spec list in different languages, but nothing overtly highlighting the details of the keyboard. Upon opening it up, we can see the manual, the quick start guide, then the keyboard itself. It's protected by two things, this plastic cover that doubles as a dust cover and a little wax bag. Although it has to be said that I would have liked to see some closed cell foam here, Aula. Of course, to protect the keyboard from bumps during shipping. Let's check out the included accessories first. We get a gray USB-C to USB-A data and charging cable, which looks to be USB 2.0, so it won't be able to fast charge its 4000 mAh battery. Then we have a generic keycap and switch puller, immediately implying that this unit comes with hot swappable switches. And to drive that point home, we have 4 pieces of extra Leobog Reaper linear switches. I personally like these switches since they're fairly smooth with a medium weight. Alright, that's all of the accessories. Let's head on over to the F75 for the product tour. So as the name implies, the Aula F75 is a 75% tri-mode wireless mechanical keyboard. You do still get a full function row, modifiers, and even the arrow keys, but you don't get a numpad. But a big thing with this keyboard is this. It's got an integrated dial. Pretty cool. First we can notice is the colorway. It's a pretty one. This is the light blue colorway, but if this isn't your cup of tea, there are 6 other colorways that you can get this in. Just check the availability on either the Aula or Epomaker websites, or whichever retailer you're planning to get this from, whether it be local or online. Check the video description for links. Anyway, the colorway features a predominantly cream-colored body. It's not a full white, it's like there's a bit of gray and yellow mixed in. Then we have these hits of light blue and dark blue distributed among the keys. I also want to point out the weight of this keyboard. It's hefty for a plastic keyboard, but it's not prohibitively heavy. This won't slide around while typing. A quick measure on my scale here reveals it to be around 1 kilogram, not including the weight of the cable. Checking out the sides of the F75 reveals it to be pretty minimalist and bare, save for the front, where we can see the clearly marked USB-C data and charging port, the switch between 2.4 GHz, wired, and Bluetooth operation modes, and the 2.4 GHz receiver and its storage nook. That's pretty handy. You would be surprised how many wireless keyboard manufacturers forget to put a storage nook for their USB receivers. At the bottom, we can see that Aula's minimalist approach is fully sustained, save for the generous amount of rubber feet and 2-stage flip-up feet. I always love seeing this on keyboards, as it gives me better control on the angle of my typing. One thing to note here is the obvious lack of screws. Yes, this is a gasket-mounted plate and it's a sandwich-style case, meaning you're going to have to stick pry tools here at the outside perimeter of the case to unlatch the top case from the bottom case. I mean, it's good that Aula offers this, but it's such a hassle to open up keyboards like these and it always risks damaging the housing. So we won't be tackling this for now. But do leave a comment down below if you want to see me break this thing open in a follow-up video. Heading back up to the top, we can see upon pulling off one keycap that the F75 comes with PBT double shot keycaps, so you can rest assured that the prints won't fade over time. It does come with the downside that these are not shine-through keycaps, so RGB won't show up in the legends. Also, as we can see here, the Leobog switches are north-facing, and pulling one off shows that they are 5-pin switches. Makes sense, as this keyboard does not have a stiff top plate, only this soft frosted plastic on top to minimize resonance and that pingy plate sound. Checking a longer switch, we can see plate-mounted cherry-style stabilizers, and yes, they are pre-lubed. Alright, we're done with the product tour. Let's turn it on and see the features. Upon turning it on, we can immediately see the bright RGB lighting under the keycaps. Like I said before, this does not have shine-through keycaps, so the RGB lighting is only under the keys and not on the legends. But with that said, RGB on this still looks pretty bright and saturated, mainly helped by that frosted top plate reflecting a lot of the light upwards. Anyways, RGB time. Brightness can be adjusted by pressing either FN and arrow key up or down, and the effect speed can be changed by pressing either FN and arrow key right or left. But do note that this only works when you're running an effect that's not full RGB. Plus, FN and backslash changes the light mode. As we can see, I'm currently in RGB rotating mode, but we can also switch over to RGB scrolling downwards, RGB radial, a custom gaming mode where the WASD and the arrow keys are illuminated, lighting off, a static RGB, breathing RGB, RGB fade, reactive typing by row, RGB rain, rotating RGB by sector, reactive typing for the whole keyboard, RGB starlight, kind of like a snake animation, RGB scrolling left to right, reactive typing by key, RGB wave, and then we're back to the RGB rotating. Alright. A few other useful key combinations if you want to swap between compatibility modes. FN plus Q is for Android, FN plus W is for Windows, and FN plus E is for Mac. Then FN plus left shift changes the type of charging indicator right here beside the escape key. We can choose between a static light, off, kind of a loading animation, and a breathing one. Holding FN plus 1 or 2 or 3 will allow you to pair Bluetooth devices for this keyboard, and quickly pressing them will allow you to switch between those devices. And lastly, probably the most important one, is FN plus escape, which when held for 3 seconds will restore factory settings. Do note that this does not clear the Bluetooth pairing memory. If you want to remove the Bluetooth pairing for the 1, 2, or 3 key, you're going to have to either unpair it from the device or repeat the pairing process for that key. There are a lot more key combinations for this as we can see in the manual, but I won't be covering them for now. And lastly, let's tackle the integrated dial, or as Aula calls it, the multifunction roller. By default, it has 2 modes, gaming and office mode. Gaming mode allows you to change the brightness of the lighting by rotating the dial, and you can scroll through the different RGB effects by pressing on the dial. Holding the dial down for 3 seconds will switch it over to office mode, where the rotation of the dial controls the volume of the device, and pressing the dial toggles audio mute. Alright, let's get this plugged into my PC and let's check the Aula software to see if there are any other additional features that we can highlight. Opening up the Aula software, I can immediately see that it's the usual OEM software that comes with a lot of keyboards across many brands. It's literally the same one from my previous keyboard feature, the Gravastar K1 Lite, just with a different skin. But still, let's run you through its features. Upon opening up the software, we're immediately taken to the key assignment page, but we're going to start at the top of the list here at the left, the Global tab. It shows here device info, a drop-down box to select the language of the app, a toggle whether the app auto runs on startup, exit behaviors for the app, a tap setting that I still don't fully understand yet, a sleep toggle as well as a duration slider, a debound slider, and a reset button. Next section is key assignments. This is where you can create, edit and delete profiles, and can also change the function row behavior. The tap function is present again, but I still don't know what it's for. Here at the bottom, we can see a bank of inputs split into 6 tabs, which we can just drag and drop to any key on the keyboard visualizer here to change the assignment of that key. It's pretty straightforward. Do note that I see no option here to change the function of the dial, so unless I'm missing something, we're stuck with the controls of gaming and office mode. Moving one tab down, we have the lighting effects tab. We can choose from a variety of lighting effects here, which we already saw earlier. This just makes the process way easier and the customization process deeper. Don't forget to press the little save icon here to apply your lighting customizations to your keyboard. Moving another tab down, we have the macro recording feature. It's just where we can record macros, save it to a bank, and use it for the key assignments tab. This is a pretty standard feature among gaming keyboards, so I won't dive into it too much. Then lastly, the effect tab. Effect. It's still a typo whichever brand uses it. But yeah, it's an audio visualizer feature for the RGB lighting. I'm going to play some music here, and as we can see, the keys light up to sync with the music. There are a lot of options here, and if you like this feature, I suggest you dive deep into it because it can achieve some very interesting results. Now, that's everything for the software side. Time to jump into the most important part, the sound. For sound test, I'm going to put it up against 2 of my keyboards. The best sounding one I have so far, which is my sleeper modded RK61, and my current daily driver, which is my Gravastar K1 Lite. Here's how they sound. Now, don't that just sound amazing? It slightly pains me to hear that the firm, marbly sound that I worked so hard to get in my sleeper RK61 is now basically possible with an off-the-shelf zero mods mid-range keyboard. I do still prefer my RK61 sound purely because it's got a more solid sound on the low end, but as it stands, the Aula F75 already sounds pretty amazing out of the box. Hell, I gave praises to the Gravastar K1 Lite sound and feel when I did a video on it, and the Aula F75 is able to surpass its quality even just by a little bit. Typing feels very smooth and responsive. Sound quality, even though it is on the quiet side, sounds firm and marbly, with only a little bit of that overtly sharp tick at the high end that might prove annoying to some typists. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with the deck flex, but then again, I'm a light typist, so I don't ever put any pressure on the keyboard that's hard enough to flex the plate or the body. This one's a keeper, for sure. So what do we think about the Aula F75? Coming in at $63 or 3,560 Philippine pesos, I think it's got great value for people who want a complete and satisfying minimalist keyboard experience straight out of the box. Although it has to be said that I don't necessarily recommend this keyboard for people who are looking to start their next mod project or looking for a mod platform to start from because of its hard to open case and the lack of a hard top plate. Plus, there are some things that I would have preferred to have been done differently, like having backlit or shine-through PBT keycaps and the ability to customize the functions of the dial, even in software. But as it is now, it's easily going to find a spot in my rotation of keyboards. Great job, Aula. As usual, links to all the keyboards that I've featured here in this video are all in the description if you want to get one for yourself. So that's the Aula F75 Tri-Mode Wireless Mechanical Keyboard. Do you have any questions about it? Leave them down in the comment and I'll do my best to answer them. While you're there, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.